big enclosed up there. This truck. And we got another one coming behind it, all going back to Canada. That Porsche up top's got Quebec plates, that's got Quebec plates. So this company out of Canada is running 3 trucks deep, enclosed, and 2 open trailers. Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, all headed back to Canada. Well, I know there's a lot of talking in this video, but we found out what happened on the 7.3. I was sent the wrong lug nuts. So these lug nuts are like a shank seal. Vision makes special lug nuts for their wheels, okay? So you have your stud, you have your wheel, okay? Your wheel goes on your stud. This looks great, doesn't it? The lug nut, as it comes inside the wheel and hugs the wheel and then tightens on the stud. So I kind of call it like a collar goes in, and what that does is doesn't let, because the wheels aren't very tight on the lug, they can wobble. So when the shank goes in there, it keeps the wheel from wobbling and is tight because it has so like the collar goes in, and then it's got, then just think of a regular lug nut, it seals on the outside of the wheel. So there's a couple different names for it. Anyways, the ones I was sent were for fronts. The shank that goes in the wheel is not as long, because you think a front wheel, you only have one wheel. A dually, you have 2 pressed together. That shank has to be longer for dually. I didn't realize that because, well, I don't have 2 to compare. So I didn't have fronts and rears there. So they had sent those, which I would have understood if I would have ordered everything at once. I would have made the if I would have made the mistake, but they haven't sent me any front component yet. They didn't have them. So there's our problem. Now, couldn't find any of those longer shank lug nuts except for on Summit. Summit Racing sells the Vision wheels, the Vision wheel lug nuts for dually wheels, and they have 2 left in the country. They're coming from Texas. Two sets of 16. That's how they sell them, because they sell them different from the front to back. So we figured out what happened. It sucks. They're gonna work with me as far as the replacement wheel, because one wheel is damaged. The replacement wheel, and there's nothing else they can do on the toe. That's not their fault. I get that, and I just take it like a man and just keep moving forward. But I'm thankful I figured out what happened, because, you know, I'm thinking maybe a malfunction, like maybe a you know, issue with the studs themselves. How do I know what's a good stud, what's a bad stud? Is this gonna happen again? I would have, like, this is like ideal scenario, something like this. I can say, that's the problem. So everything has been ordered. Summit said like 5 days. Already got my order confirmation on those. Went ahead and paid for them. Already ordered another wheel, and you know, they're gonna work with me on that. But trying to get everything back here as soon as possible. What I'll do is go to tire shop. I'll have them swap, and then I have a paperweight. Expensive lesson, but worse. Could have wrecked my truck, could have hurt somebody, could have hurt myself, and none of that happened, so let's keep moving on. So what I was saying was we have a pretty good relationship with them, so they've got stuff all over the country. So what we do is we run kind of a well, right now it's mainly Indiana to California, Arizona to Texas, Oklahoma back up. It's kind of how they've been running, and we've had some stuff where it's been Indiana to Maine and Indiana to Texas. But see, the thing is with us not being like a Horizon or whatever all the other camper companies are, camperholic companies, we get back hauls. We're not like the people that, you know, drive all the way to California and then drive all the way back empty. Like that, there's no money in that. So that's when these guys started working for me. They've seemed to be, from what I'm hearing, doing pretty well financially, which is good. That's what I like to see. I make money, they make money, everybody's happy. You know, I charge a fee, pay insurance, out of said fee, and then I make money on the rest of that. And I was happy. 3 guys right now, going to 4 guys. I think this is Friday, Saturday's flying out to, I said California, found a truck. And anyways, and then the other 3 trucks are owned by the same guy. And he finds drivers for his trucks, and then it's leased to me. So it's been going well. But I'm gonna get home later today, tonight. Then tomorrow I'm taking off. BMW doesn't have to be delivered this week. She said whenever. She figured I'd bring it up next week, and I was like, I mean, if you need it, I can squeeze it in and come up on Saturday or something. But I'm gonna start figuring out all the rest of the debacle with the 7.3. Get a plan. Not expecting any compensation, should I say, or any coverage, because at the end of the day, I could say I did everything right, which in my heart I know I did, because I took my time and was careful.
Police reported ahead.
But they don't know that. They don't know me. So it's like, I could just be saying that, and from their standpoint, like, where does their liability end? So it is what it is. I just, you know, hey, this is what happened. And I guess what my email to them was kind of like, hey, this is what happened. Do you have any other suggestions as far as what can I do to prevent this from happening again? So that's kind of where we're at with that. But we'll get that situation figured out. I'm gonna do some measuring of the studs if I need to go longer. How is that gonna affect the lug nut itself? Is it gonna be able to get all the way tight? And that's just part of dealing with aftermarket wheels and stuff. And I mean, they have had pretty good support when I purchased them, to be like, this is what we use, this is why we use it, this is what size, but they don't necessarily sell them directly. So I had to get them from somebody else they suggested. You know, I guess another supplier. They don't make them, is what I'm trying to say. So you can order them through them, but they don't make them. Well, you know, Where's the liability in there? They don't make the product. Do I need to contact them? How can we prove? Blah blah. The only part I'm worried, the only part I'm upset about is the tow bill. The only part that really irks me is, you know, everything else is coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know, it's kind of something my father taught me growing up, is just coulda, shoulda, woulda when cut it. So, you know, you either do it right, or when something does go wrong, you just figure out how to move past it. And that was just growing up playing sports, you know. You throw a pass into the end zone, goes right through your guy's hands, you know. If you would have called that, we would have won the game, but, or if you would have called that, we would have been up by X amount of points, but, you know, what you don't know is we ran more time off the clock, still scored, didn't give the other team enough time to score. It's just one of those things, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Anyways, I'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit. Check in when we get fuel. Come on, GoPro, get your stuff together. I've been using this GoPro I found. I actually forgot I had this. GoPros have been really finicky on me, whether it's ever since like the version like 5 or 6. I think they're up to like 10, 11, 12 now. But it's like, they'll just shut off randomly. You'll go back, there won't be any footage. And like on this one, there's a red light blinking at me telling me it's recording. But then I'll go back and there will be 0 footage. So anyways, it is 9:48 a.m. and I have already successfully loaded 4 trucks. I have one gentleman I dispatched for, which he gets to run a lot of my direct freight when I get too busy. So motorcycle cops, dang, that's gonna be fun writing a ticket from the back of a motorcycle. So he gets to run a lot of my direct freight while I'm busy with other things, and you know, I keep him loaded both ways. So he's on his way back from out towards Indianapolis now. So I got him loaded to come home. He'll pick up direct freight tomorrow. And then I got 3 camper guys now. Did I say? I've always said 3. I got 3 now. It's gonna be 4, which is seeming to be worth it. Power only stuff is sometimes hard to come by. Some got a deadhead some, but when you think about it, you're loading you're booking one piece. You're not having to add partials, or so it's like you're doing less work. And we've made some pretty good direct contacts with a pretty big broker. Like if I got the brokers, the owner of the brokerage, I have their personal number, so I can call them if I have any problems. Well, made it home late last night. Hit the old Starbucks drive-thru this morning with my buddy. Oh no! Oh no! You kicked the phone! Anyways, I need a little coffee pick-me-up this morning. We got some work to get done. I just made a video about the brakes on the single cab being original, and come to find out, now it needs brakes. 172-ish thousand miles. Needs front brakes. They started making a little noise late last night. So I'm gonna get that fixed today, and because I'm gonna have to use that a couple days, and then we'll go over the rest of the stuff about the about what the 7.3 needs. We figured out all that issues, so parts have been ordered, just kind of waiting for everything to get here for that. Well, we made it back from Florida. Now we hook to the small trailer and we make some residential deliveries. We're splitting these 2 up. One goes to the shore of Jersey, and then the other one goes up to like central Pennsylvania. So no use in dragging them both together going the opposite way, and no use in taking the big trailer. So we're gonna load up the Navigator on a small trailer here, and then head out in the morning. It's about 2 hours. Probably if I leave around 4, it'll probably be about 2.5 hours each way.